Thank you. All right. Thanks, everyone. Welcome to Product Outlook. How good has today's all right? How good has today been? A day filled with inspiring talks and brilliant minds. I would like to thank the Outlook team for organizing yet another fantastic conference. But before starting, let's acknowledge the traditional owners of this land on which we meet here, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulim Nation, and I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. I know I'm between you and that flat white, so I'll keep it short, sharp, and also a bit useful so you can sip away with something. I am Neha, product design leader at Bunnings, a fan of fast checkouts, and someone who firmly believes that the snacks taste better when the onions are before the sausage in a snack. I've been designing websites and apps since early 2000s, and I need to flick. So, whoops. Yes. I've been designing websites and apps since early 2000s, back when Yahoo was still the king of search and Google was a newbie with a funny name. I'm originally from India, Bombay, and been in Melbourne for over a decade now. And I have had the opportunity to lead many design scenes for almost 20 years, which means I cannot order a takeaway without critiquing its user flow. I'm also a mum to a very creative, inquisitive, and a beautiful 6-year-old. She happens to be my toughest stakeholder. She gives me sassy feedback, has zero patience, and has high expectations, just like any of the stakeholders. Yes, which is exactly the kind of vibes sometimes your team gives. A silent combination of these two expressions when you are holding things up. Has that happened to you? It means you are the blocker. Your team is always waiting on you to approve, respond, or decide. And then you end up in back to back meetings solving the chaos that you created in the start. And then the kind of work that you actually wanted to do that lights you up, such as product improvement plans or customer strategy, just slips off the calendar right in front of you. Let me ask you a question. Do you know what your customers want? What they really, really want? Yeah, maybe some features, some value for money, better price. Hold on to your thought and I will come back to it later. And let's flip the question. Do you know what your team wants? What they really, really want? How are you showing up to them and where are you holding up? Because if your team is always waiting for you, it's a sign to design yourself out so that they can get into the way and lead in. Not to disappear, but just to create better space for everybody and remove that bottleneck. So here today, I'm going to share 3 T's of leadership that I have learned not from just by the books and inspiring talks such as today, but also by scaling global teams, failing fast, coaching leaders, and of course, burning the midnight oil way too many times. Let's start with the first 2, transparency and the trio of decision making. The third one I'm going to keep for the end. So first T, transparency. It's the currency of trust. It is literally being honest to everybody, and it's being just clear, because clarity in equals clarity out. Research by Dr. Paul Zak, who did a good study on neuroscience of trust, revealed that organizations with high trust rate actually see a 70% higher engagement, 50% high productivity, and 74% less stress. Which means transparency isn't just a nice to have, it is a must have. It is definitely a competitive advantage. So normalize the truths about growth, scope creep, tech debt, shifting priorities, and when things are unclear. Be honest to your team that there's barely any time for discovery, but please also say why. Everybody wants to know the why behind everything. Similarly, be honest to your customers about bugs and delays. Don't keep them in a blur. Bad news should travel fast. It's not like aging wine, it doesn't improve with age. So deliver it quickly and with accountability. And most importantly, something that we can all do better is ask for more time. It's bloody hard, I know, but it is a true reflection of leadership if you can negotiate. Here's something that I do, especially when things are unclear or to change the dynamic of a stand up. I call it the reverse update, where you could just ask, what do I know now? What do I don't know now that you do? And see how the dynamic flips to better, bolder ideas, surprises, and even just bottlenecks faster, which means you have given a good notification to the team that you are listening and that they are leading. So let's move on to the next T, which is the trio of decision making, using our classic head, heart, but also our gut. Before any major call, I do a 10-second check and just ask myself, what's my head saying? What's my heart sensing? And what is my gut feeling? These three together are extremely important, especially to understand where our bottlenecks are and to make faster decisions. Here's a framework called DIG, literally digging deeper before deciding, that you could use when you are stuck in decision paralysis. D stands for data, I stands for impact on the users, and gut is your instinct and what is everybody saying about it. Is something that you could use. For example, instead of, I went ahead. Yes. Here's where you could use it in actual life. So suppose you're debating sunsetting a feature which is performing not very well. The data or the numbers may say that it is being barely used, it is expensive to maintain, and of course, it is not driving value. I'm sure there's always at least one feature like that in everybody's backlog. They don't want to just kill. But the impact, there is this niche a set of users who love it, and they may not be driving metrics, but they are driving trust, something which is extremely difficult to actually gain trust. And killing this feature could actually be a damage to our brand equity. So what does our gut say about it? Yes, it does feel off. The timing feels off. We need to get away from this. But then what do we do about this niche? How do we ensure that they know that we are going to kill this off? So now you have a good perspective of all three aspects rather than taking a snap decision just based on one of the three. And you might still decide to kill it off, but you have a better plan, a better phase out communication process, and now with more confidence. Before I jump into the third T, I will take a moment to just reflect where it forced me to redesign my own leadership approach. One Sunday evening, I was preparing a research report, and which was due the next day. And my daughter, just 5 years at that time, she came to me, approached me with a card of Uno, and just eyes bright in anticipation. Mama, can we play? And I said, barely looking away from the laptop, yes, just in a bit. Dinner passed. She came again, this time really expecting me to play with her. And she said, can we play now? And I said, in a bit, honey, just in a minute. That minute turned into an hour. And there she was. She mastered something no 5-year-old should be expressing. Are we not going to play at all? So it's okay. I know we can play tomorrow, Mama. I know you have important work to do. My heart really just shattered at that moment. She, at that age, had normalized that my non-engagement was more important, and it was considered important work, but playing with her on a Sunday was not as important. I closed my laptop and I did play Uno with her. And you know what? I still finished the report in the night, and it was fine. The world didn't end. But that moment did crystallize something in my heart, that I had built a system which was the bottleneck of about everything. My team waited for me to add some inputs. The stakeholders wanted me to send out the report. And I had convinced myself that being always on a weekend, weekdays, or whatever, late nights, is the way to go for leadership, whereas it was just poor design of my own team, my role, my structure, and my life. Shouldn't be saying that yet. But yeah, what it did, sorry. In the start, I did ask about what do the customers want, what they really, really want. It isn't features, it is time, which is our 30. Time saved, time back, and time well spent. And our job is to protect that time for our team, for our customers, and for ourselves. Now, how do we do that? Being ruthless with time. For the customers, autosave everything. Please don't make them re-enter information. Every extra click is borrowed time from your customer's life. Be upfront about how long things take. This will take 3 to 5 days to deliver. Just be upfront so that they can expect the time and your arrival accordingly. For your teams and for yourself, lead with summaries. Talk like an executive to the executives. Don't go round and round. Block focus time and treat them as precious, non negotiable. And reduce your meetings by 5 or 10 minutes. Make agile ceremonies optional, please, but do not compromise on one on ones because it is their time to talk and your time to listen. And guard those uninterrupted 10 minutes for your loved ones. Let me conclude with a real example what it looks like to step back and empower others. During the last school holidays, I was away during a crucial launch. Our multi-channel CSAT survey was about to go live. But the expectations were clear from the start. There were right tools in place and frameworks to work for the team. And there was enough confidence for everyone to make decisions without me. The result, of course, the survey launched and the customer rating soared. No one messaged me because nobody needed to. And they didn't need me, which means I had finally made myself redundant, which is a good thing. And congratulations, you can do that so that you can spend more time in doing things that you love and you're empowering others. I know. Leadership isn't about holding the drill. It is about making everyone know how to use it. And I know I've spoken a lot, the 3 T's, a Dick framework that sounds like it belongs to the DIY garden section. But don't worry, just pick one decision that always awaits you on a Monday and try to just lead from behind. Step back and see how the team can surprise you. And if things still don't work out, don't worry. You can fix almost anything with a 75-piece toolkit that you can find in aisle 19, bay 7. Thank you so much.